Hello everyone, welcome back to Challenge to Build. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Paul Michael. On this channel, we take on big projects that challenge the idea of you're gonna do what, or I wouldn't do it that way. So we are in the middle of my 1959 Chevy Viking build, which we are putting a school bus motor in. You can see the truck sitting here behind me. In one of the last episodes, we pulled the body back off the frame. And I actually have a confession to make. Over the last couple days, I did some work to the truck frame without having the camera on. After the latest video, which we did the shocks, I installed the shocks on the front end. I put the camera away and sat back and looked at the frame, and I actually started getting overwhelmed with where we are at in the build. I've been working on this truck for about a year now and have come a long way. You figure a year ago the frame never existed, so I've built the frame from the ground up and did a few modifications to the body along the way. But after the last video, I took a break and I started to kind of get overwhelmed. I would say officially at today's point with the build, we are at about the halfway point for the truck build. The frame is just about complete. The next big phase for the frame is going to be sanding it and painting it. And then we're going to start getting involved in all the mechanical aspects of the truck. Brake lines, fuel lines, clutch cable. We got to wire the truck. A few odds and ends on the suspension. One of the big things that I got to do is I got to pull off the front hubs on the front suspension, and I have to have this ring milled down to fit the wheel. This came out of a Ford F450. I believe this is an Eaton solid front axle. And the Ford wheels were only 16 inches and the center hub was a little bit bigger than the 19.5-inch wheels that I'm using on the entire truck. So I got to pull the hub off. As you can see, I spent some time, and where my confession comes in at is I took apart the brake system. I pulled the rotors off the front hubs. I also pulled the rotors off the back rear. You can see I have a pile of parts sitting on the floor. The axles are still out. So I started to kind of get in the process of what the agenda is going to be moving forward with this build. So yeah, the wheels are going to be an issue until I get this hub milled down. I got to pull 5 or 6 thousandths off the hub so that way they fit in the 19.5-inch wheels. I figured what I would do today, I know I spent a little bit of time talking so far. I kind of want to give you guys an update on where we're at on the truck frame and the truck project. Another thing I figured I would do is, it says this is my first punch list. And I apologize for the glare on my camera if you're getting any funky glare. I'm trying to hold it up a little bit higher. There's a crack right across the front camera lens, so I got to replace my phone moving forward. But this is my first list. Through the video series on this channel, we've already accomplished a lot of work off of this list. And what I figured I would do is spend some time and write a new list. So rather than the first, it'll be the second, and then I'll do numerically lay out the lists for what I want to accomplish in the number that I want to do it. So one of the things that I figured I would do a little different in this video, since this is kind of just like a broad update, you can see I got my fuel tank in. The fuel tank comes out of a K5 Blazer. Amazon for that. It was like $100. Did my custom fab work for that. That was about 9 months ago, long before I had the channel done. But I put my fuel tank in because we need to start thinking about fuel senders, fuel lines, and filler neck. But back to my idea with the video was to kind of give you guys an update on this build. And today was kind of a crappy day for me at work. And I came across a video on the Deboss garage channel. and he did a Will It Run 3-cylinder Detroit startup, which made me smile from ear to ear. So I thought it would be fun to do a Will It Run episode on my Caterpillar. So I'm going to put the phone on the tripod, and we are going to see if it's going to run. So that is the goal for this video. Stay tuned. Starting to rain. The weather is just going from bad to worse around this joint. I heard we're supposed to get some possible snow Friday night, and it's supposed to go down to like 20 degrees, which I hate the cold. But anyway, I digress. The last thing I got to do is tighten up the battery cables, and we should be good to turn the key. Once I get these cables snugged down. Sure, I got you guys in the video. We're far from what the original thought with this truck was, of putting an LS in this thing. I still don't know much about diesels, but they are really cool, and at least this one is pretty simple. This is a 3116 Caterpillar, and it is pre-electronic control. 3116 is all mechanical. There are differences in the injection pumps for the 3116s. I have an HEI or HEUI pump, a Huey pump or something like that, mechanical, I think. I'm not 100% sure, so don't hold me to that information. But the 3126 Caterpillar is the same motor, just computer controlled. The 3116 was Caterpillar's first metric motor. So all of the fasteners went from cubic inches to liters or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. There is some other information out there on Adept Ape, which I had posted in an earlier video. I will post the same link in this video as well if you want to learn more about the 3116. And then also I will post the video for the 3126 electronically controlled version that Deboss Garage did. So there will be some links in the description below. Go ahead and drop it down, check them out if you want. But that pretty much wraps it up for what is needed for this thing to run. It really is just a matter of the fuel solenoid opening and closing, and then everything else is mechanical. So this thing is really simple, really cool. I'm going to go ahead and put the camera in the best possible location and turn the key and see if this thing will fire up. Here goes nothing. system, so we only got a couple of seconds. But she's alive, and she rolls cold. What could make a day better than running an engine on open pipes, regardless of it being a gas or a diesel motor? Miles all the way around, baby. Hooked up on the turbo yet, so it's not making any boost, but the turbo does spool up. And there's actually one thing I got to write on the list is we got to do intercooler fabrication. This will make a bad day go away quick. That'll put a smile on your face. So there you have it, everybody. It's alive and it runs. And the noise that this sucker makes, I don't know if it translates how good on the phone or the microphone that I'm using, but it's just open pipes. It's gonna be open pipes. I'm not putting any mufflers on it. I'm not doing stacks on this truck, but the amount of noise and sound that this thing makes coming out of a 4-inch pipe. We're going to do 4-inch and we're going to do a Y in this area here, and then we're going to pipe it out to twin tips on either side at where the factory step location would be for the fenders. And like I said, I don't know what kind of noise it makes on the camera and how good it translates, but I don't know whether it's open headers for a V8 or a diesel running open headers. It just makes you smile. If you've enjoyed this video, do me a favor, smash that like button. Like I said earlier in the video, in the beginning of it, this channel is all about challenging the mindset and the attitude of I wouldn't do it that way, or you're gonna do what? And this motor in that truck kind of embraces that, and I've got ideas for bigger and even more wild, crazy projects. So if that's something that you're going to be into, make sure you subscribe to the channel, not only to stay up to date on this build, which we are crushing it. Ever since I started it, the YouTube channel has made me stay accountable to getting some work done on this truck. So for that, I thank all my subscribers. I think we are up to about 53 now, so I want to thank all 53 of you for subscribing and keeping me accountable to the work and the channel. And with that, I'm going to fire this thing up one more time, let you listen to it idle out, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. My name's Paul Michael, and this is Challenge to Build.